joining us for the first time this year. Woo! Oh, thank you. Well, friends, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. Like I said, we're going to keep this real chill, real relaxed, real quiet. Let's just have some fun for a little bit and go on with you as it is. So we're here to talk about FairyTail. Got some fans of that? Okay, well, on my left, I have two of the stars with them. First, I have this amazing actress whose roles include High School DD, Fire Force, which we talked about Friday, and Space Battleship Yamato 2199, one of my personal favorites because I think Yamato is one of the most important animes of all time, especially for old farts like me that grew up on Star Blazers and that. So thank you for your contribution to that little franchise.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I call Rager all the time. It's like, give me some Deslar. Give me some Deslar. They do. So please go to Mallorie Rodak.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course, the voice of Yukino. And next to this handsome young lad is an actor and cinematographer whose roles include Black Clover, Fire Force, which we talked about Friday, and he's also in My Hero Academia and a bunch of other stuff. He's talking about Wall. Get over Derick Snow.
It's a pleasure to be nominated.
Yes, absolutely. All right, kids. Well, let's go in the origin story of this. How did this project, FairyTail, evolve for both of you? How'd you find yourself in that little forest?
How do we remember? It's been so long. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I believe the
How'd you end
ADR
up in
director of FairyTail, Kyle Phillips?
Tyler
Oh,
Walker.
Tyler. Yeah, he started with that. Yeah, that's right, Tyler Walker. I had worked with Tyler on a show called Angels of Death, where I voiced a character named Dr. Danny Dickens. And he was not Wall. But, yeah, he cast me in that. And yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It's been a while. Tyler Walker originally was working on FairyTail, and then he became a script writer, and then Kyle Phillips took over FairyTail. And Kyle Phillips used to be the engineer for FairyTail. And so, I had known them both. And this was early on in my voiceover career. My first role was Ursula in A Certain Magical Index. And then I think my second role ever might have been Yukino in FairyTail. My girl Yukino.
Yeah, I came in on FairyTail the last season with the wonderful Wall, the various forms of Wall, supporting the Spriggan 12. He started out as this very ominous, with a little antennae, almost like a big fat shark head Wall, and then he exploded. And then the real Wall came out, and Kyle was, I think by that point, on that episode, directing me on that. And he really brought out the gravel in my voice. And a little spoiler later on, Kyle Phillips directed Fire Force. Yeah. And he saw that little chompy mouth, the little sharp teeth of Wall, and he helped sculpt my performance later on into Shindo Kusakabe. So thanks, FairyTail.
Thanks, Kyle.
It always amazes me when you make a small little choice, and then that plants a seed in a director's mind, and sometimes years later, it's like, hey, remember that one thing you did? I want you to do that the whole time in this role.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm casting you.
That's the actor's life. We're just yes-anding whatever the director wants. Nowadays, I work about 50% from my home studio and 50% in studios like Crunchyroll. And it's nice to work in studio because you can see the director sometimes when you do a take and you see them light up, or you see a take and they're all doing this and you're like, take B, here we go. The magic of that, I'm just yes-anding until I make them happy. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Absolutely. What's the best memory you've taken, if there's any more, because it's been a while, so what's the best memory you've taken from FairyTail?
Oh my gosh, best memory. I mean, for me, like Yukino's trajectory, like that whole story of her as part of Sabretooth, getting kicked out of Sabretooth, and like just the sadness that she felt, you know? Like when I talk to fans at conventions, like there's something about Yukino's story that they really identify with, you know? And so I think that's really powerful. Like the FairyTail fans that I talk to, they're like, FairyTail is important to me, like on a very fundamental level. And so to me, like that's the coolest thing is hearing these stories of how, you know, Yukino and these other characters, like they mean something to people, you know? They've impacted their lives in a really special way, and that makes me happy. It makes it special.
I mean, really, my best takeaways are just all the relationships I've kind of formed along with the production staff along the way on that show. I had a great time. He wasn't a huge character on the show, but particularly the later form of Wall. He just had such incredible energy, and to be directed. Once we were done with those sessions, I started getting like really good feedback from other directors that had seen that show, and I was like, that feels pretty good, right? Like you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, really? Because actors, we want to be good, but after the fact, your brain starts kind of saying, yeah, it probably was not good. But then the magic of, just positive reinforcement. We're such tender creatures.
Heard good things about you, young man.
Okay, so I actually do have a really good story about FairyTail. So Kyle Phillips, he loves to prank me. He's a little jester. He is a little jester. And so his prank on FairyTail for me was I would come into the studio, and I don't really know what's going to happen in that episode. And he would be like, Mallorie, I am so sorry. Yukino dies this episode. And I was like, oh no, my character in FairyTail dies. This is so sad. Oh my gosh. And he's like, I'm just kidding. She's not dead. And I'm very gullible. And I just trusted him. And yeah, he got me multiple times on that. So spoiler, she's still alive.
Kyle is such a funny guy. Every time, he would ask me the most interesting questions before things, just almost like a throwaway questions, like, hey, what's your favorite, like if you were in a baseball team, what would your walk-on music be? And then I just think for like 5 seconds. And then every time I come back for the next like 3 months, that music would be playing.
He did that for me too. That was so amazing. And he would remember everybody's walk-on music to kind of hype you up before your session. And I was like, that's special.
Yeah, not every director does that. Sometimes they just come in, but he put his special brand of Kyle-ness into the whole thing. He's a cool dude. Him and his hats.
Yeah, I dig that. Let's throw this out, then I'll jump in and I'll take some questions. At any point in your career, what do you think has been the craziest moment you've ever had in the booth?
Well, I'm very Muppety in the booth. Generally, I kind of hold onto the walls just so I don't, because I want to maintain my exact distance between me and my microphone. We have all these techniques, but I love physicality. If there's fights, I'm literally punching in the booth. There are some moments that I have regrets for. Whenever I'm eating or drinking, I kind of like to actually make that happen. A little bit, within reason. I'm not a full method actor or anything, but I like it to sound real. And an easy cheat is just to actually do it, If, say, like you're in My Hero, if you've got a mask on, I was one of the masked little buddies, you put something over your face. That's easy. If I'm drowning, I did this on a show. I'll go back to Fire Force. The end of season 2. There's a scene with Shinra Kusakabe, and he's being dunked into some water, and I was like, how can I make this sound like I'm coming out of water? Well, I filled my mouth with soda water, and then I'm like, what's happening? And it was amazing because pretty quickly I realized that a spit take on all of your audio equipment is not the smartest idea, but it was hilarious. I didn't break anything, but immediately I was like, whoopsie, got a towel. Yeah, that's almost method in the booth.
I don't know about the craziest moment. There was one moment where a tornado was nearby while we were recording, because we record at night as well. We record really until 10 p.m. The studios are open, just so we can crank all the anime out. And a tornado came by, so that was interesting. But the nice thing about that is when you're in a vocal booth, like it's actually a pretty safe place to be
Very
for a
solid
tornado.
wood, heavy. Yeah.
Yes, usually like
Very
inside, no outside windows nearby. So, it's pretty safe in there. We just kept recording. Tornado outside, no big deal.
You're a trooper.
Thank you. Natural disasters will not deter anime. It must be made.
Raid or window gloom of night shall stop these voice actors from the swift completion of their assigned scripts.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for indulging my capricious curiosity. I'm going to jump on out. I'll just take hands because we got a small, fun group. Let me grab some ammunition here.
And you get candy if you ask a question.
Good questions get a little delicious diabetes.
All right, so you've been the first one for all weekend, so hi. So introduce yourself again to our audience and what you got.
Hi, my name is Liz. My question is your favorite fight scene your character was in.
I mean, ooh. Grand Magic Games, Yukino, like that was really epic. I just feel like Yukino's fight in Grand Magic Games, like, I mean, right out of the gate, you meet the character, and then she's in this epic fight. She pulls out multiple, celestial keys to try and defeat, I think it was Kagura she was fighting, and wow, it was epic. And then in the end, she gets defeated, and she's supposed to die right then and there, but they spare her life. And so, I mean, like, I'm just now learning what the character is, and we're going through this epic fight sequence. But to me, like, Grand Magic Games is such a great arc for a FairyTail. Like, all the fights there were just really, really cool. So that one for me, like, really stands out.
Well, my various versions of Wall, I feel like I lose in every one of them. I would say I really enjoyed the last one in particular, just because of just the chaos that was involved. It was a lot of chaos. I recall in the booth. I'm not sure if it's so much of a fight. I just remember when he's about to shoot this incredible beam of energy. It wasn't so much of a fight, but I loved the buildup of that, just finding the chaos in that. But yeah, particularly the last fight, I knew he was gonna go down. So I had a lot of fun just as an actor in the booth, just screaming and bouncing off of things. That's really the dream as an actor. Being a bad guy is really fun because sometimes you get great monologues. The flip side is if you're a really good bad guy, you're gonna die. So you're just like, let's do this. Let's make this happen.
Absolutely. Great one to start us off with.
Thanks,
Who's got another one? All right. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Kate.
Hi.
What alternate universe would you like your characters to be in?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with Dune. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Dune movie, but I've read the books, I've seen the movies. I played Dune Imperium, which is an amazing board game. It's my favorite board game if you've ever heard of it. Nobody's ever heard of it. But it's so good. I think it would be so cool to see maybe Yukino in the Duneverse. Like, she would be so out of place. It's so dark and harrowing, but I think she could bring a little light and love and innocence into the Dune world. So it'd be interesting to see how she might interact with like a Paul Atreides or something like that. Yeah, little mashup of two of my favorites.
I think since we're talking about Wall, he has his various incarnations are puppets, I guess is what they consider them to be. So if we're talking about puppets and or robots, I think he would either live well in, the first thing that came into my mind is the Terminator universe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because you got some good robot action, and if I'm a bad guy, I'll join the bad guy team. Or the weirdest thing that popped into my head, and I don't think it works at all, but let's run with it. I thought of Chucky, and I don't know why. Once again, team bad guy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Great question. Thank you. What universe would you send them to?
Ooh, I don't even know. Because you guys are both in Fire Force, I kind of want to see how they'll be in there.
That's a good one. Oh
Can
my
you
God.
imagine Wall versus Shinra? Wall is, he's got so much more crazy energy like this, but Shinra's like this one. But there's a little bit of that grind. Right? Are they secretly, him, Sho, and Wall, siblings? Weird.
That's good.
Great one. Thank you. Who got another one? I'm going to walk around this side. All right, I'll come this over here. Red.
Hi.
Sorry, excuse me. But nah, you're good. Hey. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Liz. My question is, what is your favorite arc in the fairy tale? And like aside, like from your actual characters, who are your favorites as well?
Ooh, I mean, Grand Magic Games probably. I don't know. I'm biased. I'm so biased. I do really like that. I just feel like the spectacle that exists in that arc is so good. And my favorite character is probably like Happy. He's like Happy.
It's been a minute since I've dived back in. What about you? What's your favorite arc?
Yeah, it gotta be the Tartarus arc.
Nice.
Like, because we get introduced, we find out that the dragons were actually inside the. I'm sorry.
She your lawyer?
She's my sister. She actually, I actually got her into Fairy Tail as well. So,
Oh my god.
so a lot of her favorite arcs and favorite characters are actually mine. So I trained her.
I love it. Fairy Tale
super
with
cute.
families.
Yay.
That's amazing.
Family tale.
One for you, one for you, and one for you. There you go. All right.
Everybody gets candy.
Who got another one? All right. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Brandon. This question is for Mallory. What did you think of, what was I going to say? When Natsu told you that you were being troubled by Sting and Rogue, and he told you were family, like that's not how you treat your family.
Aw, I think I remember that part, and it's really emotional. Like her whole arc after she gets kicked out of Sabretooth. Like I don't know if you guys remember that scene where she does get kicked out. Like they like stripped her of her clothes. They were like throwing things on her, and so then her kind of having this new family. To me, it was really special. Like I like this kind of theme that we're seeing with questions of like we got a family watching Fairy Tail. We've got like the family that exists that Yukino essentially finds, a found family. So I think it's special. I think it's really special. And yeah, there's like I said, there's something really emotional about Yukino's kind of story and journey. And I'm really excited. I don't know. I'm sure you guys do. Everyone that I've talked to knows. But 100 Years Quest coming back July. And Yukino will be a part of that, I think. So I'm so excited. Like, I have missed Fairy Tail a lot, and I thought it was over for good, but it's not.
Who got another one? What's that? All right. Yeah, I see you. Hi, what's your name?
Joe. How would you describe your characters to someone who hasn't watched the show?
Oh. That's a good one.
Yukino, it changes over time. I think when you first meet Yukino, it's, she is confident. She feels like she can do this. And honestly, with her celestial keys, like, I would think she could do this. So she has this, like, air of confidence. I got this. And then when she gets defeated and she gets kicked out of Sabretooth, it's like, all of a sudden she feels really dejected. And she's kind of like trying to find her place in the world. And so seeing her later on, that confidence kind of disappeared, and she's unsure of herself and, her guild and where she fits in this kind of world. And then I would also say her like just physical characteristics, like blue hair, cool blue outfit. Because I think her outfit's so cool. I haven't seen anyone in person cosplay Yukino, but I feel like that would be the best cosplay. So if anyone's out there, a cosplayer, and you feel like doing a Yukino, come find me at an event. I would love to see it.
Whoop.
I think Wall is a man with a plan. And he's got a lot of plans, and he's got backup plans. So there, if I were to tell somebody, okay, imagine a very ominous. What is this? Is this guy a shark? What is going on? Like, is he a whale, a killer whale man? What is this? And then he comes. He's very determined. He comes off with these weird, amazing speeches that just kind of bring fright and confusion to things. And then when my head blows up, and then it rolls towards you, and then I get to say some weird lines, and then I think I'm dead. This is a weird way to explain a character to a person, yeah. And then later on, you think that guy's dead? No, it's just one of his forms. And even weirder, that was just a remote control version of him. And then the lines being delivered are so, I don't know, terse and robotic, but then he's being controlled by this maniac. And he's just so excited to be so mean.
I like that.
Yeah.
He sounds fun.
He was fun, yes. And he doesn't do well with floss. He cuts it right up.
What's coming up on the docket you're allowed to share with us? Any things on the horizon?
Ooh, Okay, so right now we have season 5 of Day Day Live. I'm Nia Hanjo in that show, which is a really good one. We have the second half of the second season of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. I'm Alina Leash, your favorite sultry elf in that one. And you reminded me last time we did a panel that slime is also going on. How could I forget? I am Great Sage / Raphael in Slime. I also did a little part in God's Games We Play. It's a new anime this season. If you guys have checked that one out, it's pretty good, pretty fun. And then, of course, in July, FairyTail 100 Years Quest. I'm hoping. Crunchyroll, I believe, has the license, so I can't say for 100%, but know that it is coming.
I'm currently working on Kaiju number 8 as Mizoguchi, the head of the cleanup crew, who cleans up the viscous remains of the largest monsters that have ever hit the city. Working on Slime. That's fun. I voiced Rieger in that show. There's a Blue Lock movie coming out at the end of June. The English dub version is coming out at the end of June. I voiced Ego, the head coach of that organization.
Blue Lock is real.
The Blue Lock is real. Working on a fun show called Windbreaker. It's not just about light jackets in the rain.
I was wondering.
It's about street fights and cool kids. I voiced this incredibly high-energy little youngin' named Choji. And I think that's all I can talk about right now. I mean, forever we've been talking about possible Season 3 of Fire Force, and just a little patience. And yes, it's been announced. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes down. Yay!
OtakuFest 2024, this was the cast of FairyTail and Fire Force, and that was our time. But before we go, let's take a picture of all of you and these amazing guests. If you want to come towards the stage, not on the stage, but
And I'm
towards
so
the stage.
grateful for you guys coming out and having a chat with us. Thank you so much.
Ooh. Wow, a hairpin. I didn't know they still made these.
You can break into stuff with that.
I know, right? According to old 70s shows, like.